All right, welcome back, baseball fans. It's Crab Cakes and Baseball, and we got our playoff edition of the MPSSAA tournament kickoff preview show. I am Jerry Shank. With me, as always, we got Jamie Nail. Jamie, you ready for some playoff baseball?
Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. Amped up.
Oh, yeah, going to be a lot of fun. Always a lot of fun. Always a lot of craziness that goes on, but it's a really, really fun tournament every year. One of my favorites. Just in terms of just the way the whole structure of the state tournament is set up, it's one of my favorites. Been around, getting to see how other states do their state playoffs in high school baseball. This is by far one of my favorite setups. Everybody's in, win and stay, win and stay, win and stay. There's no second chances, and that's what I love the most about this. So let's get into this because we are going to talk about a lot of games, a lot of teams, and we have a short amount of time to do this in. So let's get rolling. We're going to start out. I'm going to read out the brackets to you. We're going to start out in 4A, and we'll start out in the 4A West region. All right. In the 4A West, we have my computer can work right. We've got the number one seed in West Region 1, Walter Johnson. They've got a bye, so they've advanced to the second round of the tournament. First matchup will be a 4-5 matchup. It's Wooten High School against Churchill. Then you've got the two seed Whitman, who also have received a bye in West Region 1. And then you're followed up by the 3-6 matchup, Bethesda Chevy Chase and Richard Montgomery. Winners of the 3-6 matchup will take on Whitman. Winners of the 4-5 matchup will take on Wooten. And then let's go to you now, Jamie. I've said the teams, talked about them a little bit. Who's your favorite in this bracket?
Yeah, favorite for me is going to be Walter Johnson, led by Jay Wandell and Leo Simpson on the bump. Just the prowess there on the bump, I love. They've been dominant all year long, all spring long, and then Vance Bonjour behind the dish, huge battery mate there, and the offensive bat absolutely plays in the couple looks that I saw from him this spring. So I'm going to go Walter Johnson to take that region.
All right. Now, who do you have as a sleeper team maybe to keep an eye on?
Yeah, and it's tough to call them a sleeper team because I've been on them and been fans of them all spring. But Walt Whitman, obviously the talent on both sides of the ball and that pitching staff is absolutely legit. Sammy Berman has come into his own and kind of made a name for himself as one of the top 2025s in the state. But Liam Bowen, Lion Gardner, Jacob Goldman, Ethan Murley, Wells Twining, like all of those arms are absolutely phenomenal. Sammy Berman coming out of the pen as well. So Whitman is my team that you can't call them a dark horse because they're so talented, but they can definitely match up with Walter Johnson and don't be surprised if they come out of this region.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. A lot of good players in this region, a lot of good uncommitted talent. Specifically, I'm sure I'm going to miss a lot, but we have talked about them at length, like you had mentioned with Berman and Wells Twining. Very interesting young arms on the bump. Berman is a two-way talent as well. Um, so let's just keep on rolling. Let's go into the West Region 2. And your top seed in West Region 2 is Urbana. They have got the bye in the first rounds. Next matchup is the 4-5 seeds. You've got Clarksburg High School. They're going to be the 4 seed home against Seneca Valley. Down in the 2 seed is Northwest. They have also received a bye in this matchup, and they'll be taking on the winner of the 3-6 matchup with Quince Orchard and Gaithersburg. Now, Jamie, who do you like out of this section?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to go with Urbana. Keegan Johnson, Eli DeRossi leading the charge on the bump. The offense has been pretty consistent all year, so pretty easy pick for me here, and I'll go with Urbana.
All right. Who is your sleeper team to keep an eye on?
Yeah, this one's going to be QO, Quince Orchard for me. Josh Saronis, really, really talented player there. Jason Weber, Jack Pizer, Jake Witter had phenomenal springs for QO. Don't sleep on Northwest, though. I know that Northwest is the 2 seed in this region. Big win over Whitman earlier this spring at a game that I was at. So that's a scrappy team that can upset some people. I know they're the 2 seed, but QO is kind of my dark horse if you want to call them. But Northwest is definitely interesting as well.
All right, well, let's go on to the North region. Let's start in North Region 1. Your top seed also receiving a bye is Dulaney. They will move on to the second round and they will be taking on the winner of the 4-5 matchup, which is Dundalk and Catonsville. The two seed is Perry Hall. They also have received a bye to the second round, and they will be taking on the winner of your 3-6 matchup, Parkville and Mergenthaler Vocational Tech. All right, Jamie, who is your favorite?
I'm gonna go with Delaney in this one. I think Delaney rolls pretty swiftly through this region. Don't sleep on Perry Hall though. The Mendoza boys and Santana and AJ are very impressive, very intriguing talent there. So I'm going with Delaney, but don't sleep on Perry Hall.
All right, let's continue on. North Region 2, your top seed is Sherwood High School. They obviously have a first round bye. They're going to be taking on the winner of the 4-5 matchup, and that's going to be between Blair and Einstein. Your 2-7 matchup in the bottom half of this bracket, you have Blake, the home team, the 2 seed, taking on 7 seed Paint Branch. And then your 3-6 matchup, you've got number 3 seed Wheaton against number 6 Northwood High. Jamie, I know we've talked about them all year. I'm guessing you're going to go with them, but who's your favorite in this bracket?
Yeah, it's going to be Sherwood. Obviously, talent on both sides. Like it's a pick that seems easy, but this region is loaded with talent. There's a lot of dark horses in here that can upset some teams. But I'm going to go with Sherwood as my favorite.
So yeah, they're definitely the kind of the main squeeze in this bracket. But who you got having an outside shot?
Yeah, outside shot, I have Blake. The pitching for Blake has been phenomenal all year with Sanderoff and Jack Doyle kind of leading the charge there. They've won something like 13 or 14 straight county games this spring, so very impressive run that they're on. Blair, that's a scrappy team. Einstein scrappy, and then Wheaton with Cole Williams as well on the bump. So if Cole Williams can match up with a team, I think you can see an upset there. So this region is very interesting to watch, but I still have Sherwood going out, and then Blake kind of being the big test for them.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add my 2 cents. In the years that I've been doing this in Maryland, I always feel like Blair just always ends up finding a way in playoff time to win some games. So don't be surprised or shocked if you see them make a little late season run. So make me look smart, boys. All right, let's move to the South region and let's go to South Region 1. You've got your top seed Laurel. They will be receiving a bye and they will be taking on the winner of your 4-5 matchup. The 4 seed High Point will be taking on the 5 seed Bladensburg. Then your 2 seed is Duval. They also received a bye into the second round, and they will take on the winner of your 3-6 matchup. Your 3 seed is Northwestern, and the 6 seed is Parkdale. All right, Jamie, who do you like in this region?
Yeah, Laurel has won the last two region titles over Duval, I believe. Duval's looking to get over the hump. We're going to take Laurel in this one. It's kind of a two-team race in our eyes and my eyes, but I'm going to have Laurel come out of this region.
All right. Well, let's continue on and let's go down to the South Region 2. Your top seed, you've got Bowie High School. They get the first round bye. They will be taking on the 4-5 matchup winner, which is Wise and Suitland. Wise being the 4 seed, Suitland being the 5 seed. Then your 2 seed is Eleanor Roosevelt. They get a bye and they're actually taking on the 3 seed, CH Flowers, who also have received a bye. So they're both going to have Thursday off. They'll be taking on each other this Saturday at 4 p.m. So Roosevelt and CH Flowers move on and will take on each other in the second round. Jamie, this is always a competitive bracket. You never know who's going to get out, but who do you like?
Yeah, very competitive. Roosevelt's won the last two region titles. Bowie has the 1 seed. We're actually going to take Bowie in this one. They're the 1 seed in 2023, so I'm going to take Bowie to get over that hump in this spring.
Yeah, should be an exciting one. It's always very competitive with a lot of these PG schools in the county. So let's move on to our East region. East Region Section 1. Your 1 seed is North County High School, who get a bye. They move on to the second round. They're going to be taking on the winner of your 4-5 matchup. 4 seed Old Mill will be home team against 5 seed Meade. Your 2 seed is Arundel, who have received a bye. They will be moving on to the second round, where they're going to be taking on the 3 seed, who have also received a bye, and that is in Glen Burnie High School. So Arundel and Glen Burnie have moved on to the second round. North County is going to be taking on that winner of Old Mill and Meade. A lot of good teams, another good matchup, a lot of good matchups across this board. Jamie, who do you like?
Yeah, this is a very competitive region as well. I'm going to go with North County to take it. Senior leadership, Thor Hildebrand, sophomore Colin Voss has been impressive this spring as well. So I'm going to take North County just because of their balance on both sides of the ball, and with Thor leading the charge on the bump.
Yeah, really been a strong year for North County. So let's it should be a lot of fun. Arundel always likes to make some nice late season runs as well. So definitely keep your eyes open down there. Should be again a lot of fun in that East Region 1. Let's move on to East Region 2. Your top seed is Broadneck High School. They get the first round bye. They will be taking on the winner of the 4-5 matchup, 4 seed North Point and 5 seed South River. Then your 2 seed, also receiving a bye, Severna Park. They will be taking on the winner of your 3-6 matchup, which is Leonardtown and Annapolis. Leonardtown being the home team and the 3 seed, with Annapolis being the 6 seed. A lot of good teams right here. We've got a few teams that have been in our top 10 of the Power 25 for most of the year. Jamie, this one might be a tougher one to pick. Who do you like?
Yeah, this one is loaded as well with talent. With we see three teams that have a real shot at this one. I'm going to take Severna Park as a 2 seed to come out of this region. I think they're going to avenge a loss against Broadneck from earlier in the spring. Obviously, Broadneck is very talented. They're the 1 seed in this region, but I have Severna Park coming out. I think the pitching is really rolling for the Falcons now. The offense is starting to really heat up. So I'm going with Severna Park. Watch out for Leonardtown as well. But Severna Park, I think, takes this region.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. And like you had saying, it was a really good matchup when they squared off in the regular season between Broadneck and Severna Park. It should be a lot of fun again if they end up squaring off against each other for that sectional championship. All right, so that's going to do it for our 4A region. Now, we're going to be doing another pod after the regions are over with and we get the reseeding and kind of looking at the down the backstretch, the final matchup, so to speak, with the final teams in it. So we'll get a preview at that point. But I do want to pick your brain, Jamie, before we even get started. Now, a lot of you, when you watch this, the games are going to be underway, but we're recording this before the tournaments has actually started. So, Jamie, who is your pick? We're not going to worry about the semis, the quarters, or anything like that. We're going to worry about the champion. Who is your pick in 4A to take it all away?
Yeah, I'm going to take Urbana. Urbana is on a roll right now. The back end of the spring, they've been pretty dominant, and I really like Urbana, so I'm taking Urbana. I love the two starting pitchers in Keegan Johnson and Eli DeRossi. I like the offense as well. I know I spoke about them earlier, but keep it simple. I'm going to take Urbana.
Hey, it's hard to argue, man. When it comes to the playoffs, you got to have that pitching. They definitely have the horses who can do that. If you have good pitching, you got timely hitting, you have a very good shot to go far. So that's a very smart pick on your side. Now, let's move to the 3A portion of the brackets and let's get our little preview going on here. Let's go to the West region again. In the West region 1, your 1 seed is North Hagerstown High School. They have received a bye to the second round. They will be taking on the winner of a really interesting matchup, in my opinion. You got 4 seed Tuscarora taking on 5 seed Linganore. Then you've got your 2-7 matchup in this West Region 1. Number 2 seed, Thomas Johnson. Number 7 seed, South Hagerstown. And then your 3-6 matchup is going to be Oakdale and Frederick High School. A lot of competition right here out west. A lot of Frederick County teams out in this West region. A lot of fun teams to watch here. But Jamie, who do you like?
Yeah, pitching is going to be the staple in this region as well. I'm going to go with North Hagerstown with Max Stifler, Henry Ortiz, Henry Lewis. I really like the pitching staff that the Hubs have. Dark horse in being Thomas Johnson. They've been really good all spring. I think that's another team that has pretty good balance on both sides of the ball. So watch out for Thomas Johnson, but I'm going to go with the Hubs to take this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go against TJ, right? They've been having such good years the past few seasons. They got a lot of experience still, a lot of guys who remember those long runs. So definitely keep an eye open for them. Now let's move to West Region 2. Your top seed is Magruder. Magruder High School, they move on to the second round with a first round bye. They'll be taking on the winner of the 4-5 matchup. Your four seed is Kennedy High School. They'll be hosting five seed Springbrook. The two seed is Damascus. They have also received a bye. They will move on to the second round and they will host the winner of your 3-6 matchup, three seed being Rockville High School and the six seed Watkins Mill. Jamie, who do you like in this region?
Yeah, I'm going with Damascus in this. You have Kusky and you have Bryce Mitchell in the bump. That offense is sneaky as well. They got some pop throughout, 1 through 9. So I really like them. Obviously, don't sleep on Magruder. Magruder's the one seed here. That offense has been lethal all spring. Terrion Pettis, Avery Green, Hunter St. Dennis. We really like all three of them. Hudson Green is throwing really well for them on the bump. So Magruder is dangerous, but I'm going to go with Damascus with Kusky and Bryce Mitchell leading the way on the bump.
Outstanding, outstanding. So let's move on. Continuing forward, let's go to the North Region and North Region 1. Your top seed is Towson, this is actually just going to be this is going to be a playoff bracket. Second round's really going to be kicking off as you got four teams in the bracket. So let's just go straight to our Saturday games. It's going to be top seed Towson. They're going to be hosting Franklin High School in the 1-4 matchup on Saturday again. All of these teams have advanced to the second round. Your 2-3 matchup is going to be Baltimore Polytechnic Institute going to be taking on City College, Baltimore City College, the 3 seed. Towson, amazing run last year, all the way to the state championship. You would like to think they're probably going to compete. Jamie, do you think they can do it again?
Yeah, absolutely, I do. Obviously, the loss of their ace from last year is going to be tough to make a run like they did last year. But you still have Jackson Huck. You have a healthy Aziz Bishop that you did not have last year. So Coach Tormey is sitting pretty. I think Towson shouldn't have too much trouble getting out of this region, and we'll see if they can make another run like last year.
Absolutely. Jackson Huck now the little chase taking on the role. So good luck to them.
Yep.
Let's continue forward. North Region 2. Your top seed is CM Wright. They have received a bye to the second round. They will square off and host the winner of your 4-5 seeds. Bel Air High School is going to be the 4 seed. Kenwood is the 5 seed. Now, the two seed is Patapsco. They will get a bye into the second round and they will take on the winner of your 3-6 matchup, Aberdeen High School and Edgewood. All right, so a lot of Northern UCBAC schools in this one. Jamie, who do you like?
Yeah, this one is very interesting. I'm gonna go with CM Wright as the top seed in this one. Um, Watch out for Bel Air. They're scrappy. They haven't played great throughout this spring. They haven't been able to get on a consistent roll. Coach Andrews usually always has his guys ready to play come playoff time. So watch out for Bel Air. I know CM Wright is the one seed, and I know they've played extremely well this spring and kind of surprised us a little bit. But watch out for Bel Air, but I'm still going to take CM Wright.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's been a really impressive year for CM Wright. We didn't expect it to be this good. Bel Air, like you were saying, man, they always have some really nice late season playoff runs. So I would definitely not hold them out. Really like that. Now let's go on to the South region here. In the South Region 1, you've got your top seed Chopticon. They will be the host of the round 2 matchup as they received a bye. They're going to be taking on the winner of your 4-5 matchup, 4 seed Northern, 5 seed St. Charles. Then your 2 seed is Huntingtown. They have received a bye. They're actually going to be taking on the 3 seed who have also received a bye, Great Mills. So it's going to be Huntingtown and Great Mills on Saturday in round 2. Chopticon is the top seed. You've got one first round matchup, and that's Northern and St. Charles. Jamie, who's your favorite?
Yeah, I'm going with Huntingtown. I saw them last week against Patuxent, and they completely controlled the game, especially late. Logan Hastings leading the way on the bump. I really, really like what Coach Smith is doing down there at Huntingtown. I think they're on a roll now. The offense is really starting to play. So I'm going with Huntingtown. Obviously, watch out for Chopticon. Watch out for Great Mills as well. That 2-3 or that three for Great Mills is really intriguing, and they're a lot of fun to watch as well. But I'm still going to take Huntingtown to come out.
Always fun when you got a lot of smack teams going out and taking
Mhm.
on each other because you can basically throw the records out the wall. It doesn't matter. Always
Yeah.
a lot of fun, a lot of good matchups there. So let's move on to Region Two in the South region. Your top seed is Stephen Decatur. They have received a bye. They will be moving on to the second round. They're going to be taking on the winner of your 4-5 seed, Crofton, the 4 seed, taking on 5 seed Bennett. 2 seed is Oxon Hill High School. They have moved on to the second round with a bye. They're going to be taking on the winner of your 3-6 matchup, Chesapeake and Northeast. Now, we have a defending state champion in this bracket with Chesapeake High School, but there's a lot of good teams as well. Should be very competitive. Jamie, who you liking in this bracket?
I like Decatur. Will they get over the hump this year? The early exits in the playoffs have been obviously eye opening and stunning to watch in past years. Ran into a tough Bennett squad last year with Jai Sample in the bump, so obviously you don't have a Jai Sample most likely throwing it against them this region. I'm going to take Decatur. They've been phenomenal all spring, pretty dominant. The pitching staff there. So I'm going with Decatur. I think they get over the hump, and I think they make a deep run this spring.
Anybody, or I shouldn't say anybody, but there is an intriguing regional semi potential matchup between them and Crofton, which could be a really interesting speed bump for them, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely. If Crofton can get by J.M. Bennett, which we believe they will, Crofton is scrappy. They have a lot of offensive pieces that can a lot of thump throughout the lineup as well. They have the pitching, so that matchup with Decatur is going to be interesting, and it's going to be an early test for Decatur and what we think is going to be a deep playoff run. So that's going to be an interesting matchup on Saturday. Hopefully, between Crofton and Decatur is what we think, but I still have Decatur coming out.
Well, we're always wrong in everything. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
but that's what we'd like to see
We'd
when
like to see one.
we just fill out brackets like everybody does in March for the NCAA tournament. All right, let's move on to the East Region 1. You've got Centennial High School, your top seed. They move on to the second round with a bye. They're going to be taking on the winner of your 4-5 matchup, Howard and Westminster. Howard being the 4 seed there. Your 2 seed is Marriott's Ridge. They've also received a bye, and they're going to be taking on the winner of your 3-6 matchup, Manchester Valley and Mount Hebron. All right, so Jamie, you've got a lot of Howard County schools in here, some real interesting teams. Who are you liking in this region?
Yeah, this is an intriguing region. I have Centennial coming out. I think the Ahern brothers are really going to step up. Um, it's May, so they're extremely competitive. I have both of them really, stepping up and taking charge here. So I have Centennial coming out. Watch out for Marriott's Ridge. I really, really like them. I like the offense there as well. There's a lot of high-powered bats throughout that lineup. So watch out for Marriott's Ridge, but I still have Centennial coming out behind Cade Ahern and Quinn Ahern.
All right, now wrapping up our 3A in the East Region 2. You've got top seed River Hill. They've moved on to the second round. They've got a bye. They're going to be taking on the 4-5 matchup, which is Athelton and Wild Lake. Your 2 seed is Long Reach. They've got a bye, but onto the second round, and they've already got their matchup set. It is with 3 seed who have also received a bye, Reservoir. All right, so you've got River Hill. They're waiting for their opponent between Athelton and Wild Lake. You've got Long Reach and Reservoir. They're already set to play in this second round matchup. Jamie, who do you like coming out of this region?
I have River Hill. I have River Hill coming out. I really like Longreach, and the one time that I've seen them, and we've had an intern go out there and see him a second time. We really like Longreach. We like the offensive prowess that they have. But River Hill, if you have Zatkowski on the mound in a winner take all matchup, it's extremely tough to beat. Kutris on there as well, Koji, Finkelstein. So they're deep on both sides of the ball. Obviously, Zatkowski is dominant. So if he matches up in a regional final, it's going to be tough for anybody to beat him. But we like long reach as well. Obviously, Aiden West in that 25 class is a special, special player. And they have some depth throughout that lineup 1 through 9. So watch out for long reach, but I'm going with River Hill.
All right. All right. So let's go before we finish up and move on to the 2A. Jamie, I want you to look into your crystal ball. Who do you think is going to be getting out of 3A?
Yeah, this is a tough one, Jerry. This is tough. Obviously, you really like Decatur. I'm going to pick Decatur to win it. We think that they're going to get over the hump this year. So I'm going with Decatur. I'm not going to talk any more about it. I'm going to go with Decatur and I'm going to stick with it.
I have spoken. There we go. There we go, Jamie. All right. Well, let's move on to the Class 2A bracket. A lot of fun in this bracket last year. It was a real exciting championship game. I had a lot of fun covering it last year. Let's go into the West Region. West Region 1. You've already got your first round. Everybody gets a bye. You've got 4 teams in the bracket, so we're going to move straight to the Saturday matchups. You've got 1 seed Liberty taking on 4 seed Southern. Your 2 seed is Century. They're going to be hosting the 3 seed Winners Mill. Liberty has spent a lot of time in our Power 25 this year. Looks like the kind of had a few hiccups lately. Is that going to scare you away, Jamie, or are you going to stay with Liberty?
Yeah, Jerry, it's actually going to scare me away. I've been on Liberty all spring. I've been fans of Liberty. I think Coach Inch does a great job with them. But I'm going to go with Century coming out of this one. Century lost to Liberty twice this spring in their 2 county matchups. I think they avenged their 2 losses, and I think they beat Liberty to come out of this region.
All right, Liberty, there's your virtual bulletin board material right there, free of charge. Let's
Jerry,
go to West.
don't sleep on Winners Mill though. Don't sleep on Winners Mill. I'm a
Amen.
graduate, so let's not sleep on the Falcons out of Carroll County.
Absolutely. Got to throw some love to the alum for the alumni and former school. West Region 2, you've got your top seed defending champs, Glen Elg. They move on to the second round with the bye. They're going to be taking on the winner of 4 and 5 seed. Hammond's your 4 seed. Walkersville, excuse me, is your 5 seed. Then you've got 2 seed Middletown. They've also received a bye. They're going to be taking on the winner of your 3-6 matchup with host Poolsville taking on Oakland Mills. All right, this is a pretty interesting one. We've got 2 teams that, just in my opinion, I think are going to be really big contenders out of 2A. Jamie, who do you like coming out?
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun to watch. This is going to be a lot of fun to pay attention to. This region is loaded with talent. I have Glenn coming out. Coach Tiffany does a great job with his men down there. He's going to have them ready to play. So I'm going to take Glen Absolutely don't sleep on Middletown. That offense there with Andrew Raymond, Freddie Diaz, Joey Nicholson. So I really, really like Middletown. Poolsville has some players as well. So it's going to be interesting to watch, but I still think Glen comes out and makes a deep run just like they did last year.
Yeah, super competitive region and bracket right there. One of the more competitive ones throughout in all of the MPSSAA. Let's move to the North region now. You've got North Region 1. Your top seed is Newtown. They're going to be taking on, or they've moved to the second round. They're going to be taking on the winners of your 4-5 matchup with his Randallstown and Milford Mill Academy. Your 2 seeds Carver Center for the Arts. They're going to be taking on the winner of your 3-6 matchup, Hereford and Lansdowne. Jamie, some interesting teams in this bracket. Who you liking?
Yeah, I like Hereford. They've had a tough spring and they haven't been able to get on a roll. The pitching is obviously there. We see the pitching. It's a very talented pitching rotation. I'm going to have Hereford Hopefully, they can get on a run and make me look smart. I like Hereford. I like the pitching. I think the pitching is going to lead them out of this region, so I'm going with the Hereford Bulls.
Yeah, yeah, tough start to the year, but I mean, there was a reason that we had them ranked in our Power 25 in the preseason. It was because of that depth. So hopefully, you start to see that come back and come during the really the most important time because preseason rankings don't matter. It's really this time of the year at the beginning or at the end of the season for the playoffs. Let's go to the North region. Your number one seed is Overlay. They're going to be moving on to the second round. They'll be taking on your 4-5 matchup of Sparrows Point and Eastern Tech. Your two seed is Carver Votech. They have moved on to the second round. They've got a bye. They're going to be taking on the 3-6 matchup, which is Dunbar and Patterson High School. So, Jamie, another interesting matchup here. One of these where you can almost flip a coin. It seems like every year there's just a lot of good matchups, a lot of good games. There's definitely always some surprises too. But who do you like coming out of this one?
Yeah, there's a huge early matchup between Sparrows Point and Eastern Tech, like you said. We see, or at least in my eyes, I see the winner of that game coming out of this region. Obviously, Overlay is very talented; they're the one seed, but that Sparrows Point Eastern Tech matchup is very intriguing. We picked those two teams to be the top two in this region preseason, and I'm going to stick to it. So I have whoever wins that game comes out of this region.
Hey, we got to stick to our guns, right? Let's go on. South Region 1. Your top seed is Frederick Douglass. They have moved on to the second round with a bye. They're going to be taking on your 4-5 matchup of Friendly and Fairmont Heights. Gwynn Park has moved on in the bye. They're going to be taking on Potomac High School, who is the 3 seed and have also received a bye. So you've got 5 teams in this bracket. Your 2 and 3 seeds already set to the second round. Jamie, who you looking at to get out of this region?
Yeah, I think your one and two seeds in Frederick Douglass and Gwynn Park are your favorites. They matched up last year. I'm gonna take Gwynn Park. Gwynn Park won it last year. I'm gonna have them repeat again, so I'm gonna go with Gwynn Park.
All right. Let's move on to the South Region 2. Your top seed, Patuxent. They have a first round bye. They're going to be taking on the winner of Lackey and Calvert, the 4-5 seeds. Your 2 seed, La Plata. They've also received a bye. They're going to be taking on the winner of the 3-6 matchup, which is McDonough and Westlake. Now, you have a defending state finalist here. You've got kind of an arch nemesis as well in here with La Plata and Patuxent. Jamie, who do you like in this region?
So, La Plata just defeated Patuxent in the SMAC title game. In what we can call an upset, the SMAC is obviously very, very competitive. They can beat anybody. Everybody usually beats up on everybody, but Patuxent has had a great spring. They've kind of struggled towards the back end of the spring. I have them rebounding. Coach Powell is definitely going to get his guys ready to roll. So I have Patuxent coming out of this region.
All right, let's continue forward. East Region, your top seed, Falston High School, the 1 seed, moving on to the second round. They're going to square off with the winner of your 4-5 matchup, which is Elkton and Hartford Tech. Your 2 seed is Northeast. They have received a bye as well. They're going to be taking on the winner of your 3-6 matchup, North Hartford and Rising Sun. Another interesting little section here. We've got 2 quality teams. Falston's been hot of late. Northeast has been solid all year long. Um, who do you like in here?
Yeah, this one's kind of tough to pick, and this is one of my tougher picks throughout the night. I'm going to go with Falston. Coach Morlock has done phenomenal with the Cougars this spring. Has really had them playing well. They're going well right now. Northeast is obviously very competitive with Flogger and Luke Kiefer and all the boys down there. But I'm going to have Falston come out of this one. Don't sleep on North Hartford either. They're very talented. They've played very well this spring. Um, Elkton Elks. I just love saying Elkton Elks. So we're going to see how they do in this region. But I have Falston coming out.
All right, sounds good. The East Region 2, wrapping up our 2A look. Your number 1 seed is Parkside High School. The Rams are going to move on to the second round with a bye. They're going to be taking on the winner of the 4-5 matchup of Easton and Wicomico. Then your 2 seed is Ken Island. They've also received a bye, and they will be taking on the winner of the 3-6 matchup, 3 seed being Queen Anne's, and your 6 seed North Carolina. Another interesting little bracket here. Jamie, who do you like?
Yeah, this one's going to be very interesting depending on pitching matchups. I have Parkside coming out. If Easton beats Wycomico and they save Webb, will they pitch Webb against Parkside? Which most likely, if they keep him, they will throw him against Parkside. So that's going to be a tough matchup for Parkside going up against Caden Webb. I still have Parkside coming out of this one. Kent Island, very interesting. Queen Anne's. So there's a lot of talent in this region, but I have Parkside coming out of it.
All right, that wraps up 2A. Jamie, who's your favorite? Who you think's going to win the 2A in your
This
first
is
pick?
yeah, this is another tough one, Jerry. This is tough. Obviously, Glenell coming off of a state title win. That's probably going to be my favorite. I'm going to go with Glenell. I think they're getting healthy at the right time. The balance on both sides of the ball, I love. So I'm going to go with Glenell with that pitching staff. So Coach Tiffany and Glenell, that's my pick.
A lot of parity, a lot of good matchups in this 2A class. Should be a lot of fun to watch. All right, let's move on and go to our Class 1A division. And let's go back to the West. The West region, always a competitive one. Let's go far west when we're going Region 1, the far west of Maryland. Your top seed, Allegheny High School, they've got a bye. They moved on to the second round. They're going to be taking on the 4-5 matchup between Mountain Ridge High School and Fort Hill. Your 2 seed is Northern Garrett. They have moved on to the second round, as has the 3 seed Southern Garrett. So another Northern and Southern Garrett high school battle in the playoffs. I feel like it happens every year. But you got your 2 and 3 seeds right there. You've got Allegheny. The 1 seed waiting to see that winner between Mountain Ridge and Fort Hill. Jamie, I think I know who you're going to pick, but where are you going?
Yeah, Allegheny should roll through this region. I'm picking Allegheny.
Fair enough, man. A few words, I like it.
That's
We've
that's
been a fan of Allegheny all year.
yeah,
They've been
absolutely. I mean,
consistent. They've
yeah,
been consistent. They've been in the top 25 all year. We really like them. They came up just short last year in one of the best matchups of the season last year to get to the state tournament. So I'm sure that they are hungry to make another run. West Region 2, you've got your top seed Catoctin. They have received a bye. They're moving on. They're going to be taking on the 4-5 matchup between Smithsburg and Williamsport. You've got a 2-7 matchup here, really interesting one. Clear Spring High School in Boonesboro. And then your 3-6 matchup, another interesting one, Brunswick and Hancock. This is a very intriguing little section right here of this West region, Jamie. Who do you like coming out?
yeah, I have Catoctin coming out. Now, this region is going to come down to pitching matchups, especially early. Clear Spring, Boonesboro, you're probably going to see Maddie Konecki go for Boonesboro against Clear Spring, either Troball or Care. That's going to be a huge pitching matchup early. And then Brunswick facing off against Hancock. Brunswick, can they keep Ellison for the semis to match up with either Clear Spring or Boonesboro? That's going to be interesting to watch. I still see Catoctin being the high-powered offense, high-powered pitching with Costello and McManus. So I have Catoctin coming out of this region.
Yeah, definitely have a bullseye on their back. We were wondering when the season started, was Catoctin going to find enough offense, and they just kind of shoved that back down their gullet.
Mhm.
They knew they have some really good young talent, really interesting lineup. I know you've been a fan of them all year long. Let's move to the North region. You've got your top seed Pikesville. They have moved on to the second round with a bye. Your 4-5 matchup is FSK with Lock Raven. 2 seed is South Carroll. They're going to be taking on the 3 seed Western School of Tech in that second round matchup with your 2 and 3 seed. Who do you like in this region, Jamie?
Yeah, I like Pikesville. They've played extremely well this spring. I've liked Pikesville. I've liked following them throughout the spring. Jack Millman, Noah Lichter, I really like both of those players. I think they're going to lead Pikesville out of this region. Don't sleep on South Carroll out of Carroll County. We've liked them as well. We've kind of kept tabs on them throughout Carroll County. So I like South Carroll, but I'm going to pick Pikesville to come out.
All right, now in the North region 2, top seed, and I know this sounds familiar because I've said it again, but it's Frederick Douglass. There are 2 Frederick Douglass high schools in the state of Maryland. This is the 1A version. They are the top seed, moved on to the second round. Your 4-5 matchup, you've got your the 4 seed is Academy for College and Career Exploration, which is ACCE, and you've got Reginald Lewis High School as the 5 seed. Your 2 seed is Edmondson West Side. They've moved on to the second round. They're going to take on, excuse me, the winner of your 3-6 matchup, Forest Park and Coppin Academy. Now, Jamie, who are you going to pick out of this one?
So this region final was crazy last year. Frederick Douglass faced off with ACCE, and ACCE beat them 20-16 in that region final. So a lot of offense there. I'm gonna take Frederick Douglass as the 1 seed to kind of rebound after that loss from last year. So let's go with Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, my previous statement about pitching being so important does not apply to this region. It's score runs and score it at will. Who's going to do the most?
Yeah.
Let's go on to the South region. The 1 seed, you got Havre de Grace. They are the 1 seed moving on to the second round. Your 4-5 matchup, who they will be taking on. Your 4 seed, Patterson Mill. Your 5 seed, Joppatown. 2 seed is Bow Manor. They're going to be moving on to the second round, and they're going to be taking on the 3 seed, who have also received a bye in Perryville. So that 2-3 matchup, Bow Manor and Perryville High School. Who do you like in here, Jamie?
I like Havre de Grace. Dylan Zachary Nance, I really like him. We've seen him a bunch at events over the summer, over the fall, over the winter. So I really like him. I think that he's going to lead the charge. Don't sleep on Patterson Mill. That's going to be an extremely intriguing semifinal matchup if it happens. Michael Hamel, we obviously love him from the state games last year. So Patterson Mill, with their track record, there's a lot to like there. I still have Havre de Grace coming out, but this one's intriguing to follow.
Oh yeah. South Region 2 now. The top seed is CMIT North. They're going to be taking on the 4 seed. All There's 4 teams in this bracket I should have started with. They've all moved on to the second round. So these are going to be your Saturday matchups. 1 seed CMIT North, they're going to be taking on Largo, the 4 seed. Your 2 seed is Central. They are going to be taking on the 3 seed Surrattsville in that 2-3 matchup. But all these games are on Saturday. Jamie, who you picking out of this region?
All right, so here's another crazy regional final, and I'll be quick. But Central defeated CMIT North by a score of 36-16 in last year's region final. So when you put up 36 runs in a championship game, it's tough for me not to pick you to repeat. So I'm going to go with Central in this one.
That's a lot of runs.
That's a lot of runs.
That's
That is a lot of runs.
that's a lot. That is a lot. I got nothing.
Yeah, nothing
That's
much.
impressive. I'm not mad. I'm impressed. All
Yeah.
right, let's move on to the East region. East Region 1, you've got your top seed, Colonel Richardson, moved on to the bye. In the second round, they'll be squaring off with the winner of the 4-5 matchup, St. Michael's and CSD. That's Cambridge South Dorchester. Your 2 seed is North Dorchester. They have received a bye. Your 3 seed is Kent County. They have received a bye. So they're going to be squaring off in round 2 on Saturday. So that's North Dorchester and Kent County. Colonel's your top seed. You've got St. Michael's and CSD in there as the 4-5s. Jamie, this is another interesting little bracket right here. Who do you like?
Yeah, this one's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm going to have Colonel come out. They've had an immaculate spring. We've really liked following them. We've had our intern over on the Bayside cover them a bunch. He saw them again tonight in the Bayside championship game. So I like Colonel. I like the pitching staff that they have. Daniel Hessen has had a great spring, so I like them. Dark horse for me is going to be North Dorchester. Will they hold Jordan Rogalski, which is a 2025 that we absolutely love? Will they hold him for the region final against Colonel? Um, so it's going to be tough to see. It's going to be tough to watch. We'll see what happens, but I like Colonel coming out.
All right. Now your East Region 2, last one of this preview show. Top seed, Washington High School, have a first round bye. They're going to be taking on the winner of your 4-5 matchup, Pocomoke and Chrisfield. Your 2 seed, Snow Hill High School. Your 3 seed, Mardella. Both teams have received a bye, so they're going to be squaring off on Saturday at Snow Hill. So you've got the 1 seed, Washington. We've been a fan of Snow Hill all year. Jamie, where are you going to go with this one?
Snow Hill lost a bunch from last year, and they've kind of been up and down on a roller coaster throughout this spring. I'm going to have them come out of this region. Washington is obviously the one seed led by Gavin McIntyre, but I have Snow Hill coming out. Cole Swift is an absolute dude. We love him on both sides of the ball. I think he's going to lead the Eagles throughout this region, so I have Snow Hill coming out.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. We've finished all of them, but we've got one more pick to go, Jamie. Who is your favorite in Class 1?
Yeah, in probably one of the toughest regions, which is Region 2, I have Catoctin as my state champ this year. Obviously, the talent throughout that region is immense with Boonesboro and Clear Spring, and the pitching is just, it depends on pitching matchups.
Mhm.
But Catoctin, with having Bryant Green and Jacob Bell as those two 2025 middle infielders leading the charge offensively, and then McManus and Costello on the bump, I just think there's too much firepower with that team not to win it in 1A. So I'm going with Kentucky.
Hey, very, very good pick right there because your winner last year, Clear Spring, came out of this very same region. They were definitely battle tested when they got to the state championships. So, should be another fun tournament. Well, that's going to do it. We were only about 30 minutes longer than we thought, but that's just how it goes when you're doing a preview and and you're talking about a lot of teams. Good luck to every team. Congratulations to everyone on on the regular season. This is going to be a ton of fun. It's amazing what happens over the course of the next 2.5 weeks. There's a ton of baseball, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, good luck to everyone in this tournament. Folks, we're going to have this preview out. We're going to wait until we've got the regions set, the reseeding gets set, then we'll throw out another podcast. So then you'll get us in there. Make sure you're going out. We're going to be having an updated Power 25 here soon as an end of regular season one, and then we'll finish up with a final season Power 25 as well. We'll also throw out an updated Maryland, Delaware top 25 rankings as well during the course of these next few weeks. And make sure you're staying online. We're updating our class rankings, player rankings. 24 classes out now, 25 class next week, 26 class the following week. So there's going to be a lot of new faces, a lot of new names because myself and Jamie, we saw a lot of players over the course of the past 4 months and a lot of new faces too to get added on there. So make sure you stay on prepbaseballreport.com/Maryland. Check out the website, check out the new rankings, check out a lot of stuff because we're going to be throwing it at you over the course of the next 3 weeks. So that's again going to do it for all of us here. Best of luck to everyone. Don't get too cute. That's my advice to everyone out there. Don't get too cute in the playoffs, okay? Best of luck. We'll see you soon. Crab cakes on baseball.